Hi there, this is a video to introduce you to our easy install interior barn door hardware kit. Kit comes in a box about this size. The contents of the kit will be 2 carriers complete with nuts and bolts, 4 standoffs. You may end up only using 3 standoffs, but we provide 4. Got door bottom stabilizers, anti-jump locks, adjustable end stops, and of course the track. So the tools that are required for the install are a level, a couple of squares, power drill, tape measure, stud finder, some painter's tape, which I'll show you what we're going to use that for, a 1 3/4 inch block. The block is actually used during the install of the carriers to the door. We use a 3/8 socket, or you can have a full socket set, but basically you're going to need 2 sockets, a 3/8 and a 1/2 inch. We're also going to need a couple of drill bits. You'll end up needing a 7/16 drill bit as well as a 3/32 drill bit. If you're going to need to cut your track down, if your track is not the right length, you're going to end up needing a cutoff saw, or an angle grinder in this case, or a metal cutoff saw. Then you'll need to be able to touch up. So typically we use a rust mitigating paint. It's Krylon. We always use a black satin finish, a little disposable brush, and when you cut it, you'll be able to touch up your ends. Also, please notice that there is a smooth beveled side that goes up. Each track will have a label on it that says this side up. Just make sure this side is up. So basically, to calculate where the easy standoff goes, which will go above the door, you always have a 1/2 inch space plus the size of your door, which this door is 78 1/4, and then whatever gap you want on the bottom. That can range anywhere from 1/4 inch all the way up to about 1 inch. In this particular case, I want a 3/4 inch gap. So basically you take your 78 1/4 door plus your 3/4 inch gap, your 1/2 inch space, and you have 79 1/2. So you're going to mark the bottom of this onto the wall at 79 1/2. So basically you're going to set your standoff right here at 79 1/2. So you got 79 1/2. You mark 79 1/2 with a little pencil, and you know that this is the point where your standoff will. So you set your level here at 79 1/2. You'll come, and so you don't have to repaint, just hit a couple marks here, take it all the way down, and mark it. Okay, so the easiest way to find your studs that we found is to go ahead and put some painter's tape along your level marks. Just take it, slide it, bring it on down to the end. Painter's tape's easy to remove, and then you come back with your stud finder. So now you set your standoff will be on the bottom of the painter's tape line. So the only thing, it can go anywhere along this line, however you need to find a stud. So you run your stud finder, and you find your stud here. There you go. So you've got a stud here. Go ahead and mark that spot. Bring it down. You should be able to find another stud. There we go. We've got another one right here, just perfectly about midpoint. This is a relatively short track, so we probably only need a 3rd one. So you'll find another one here. There we go. That's fine. Or we can see we want to go down further. I would say probably right here at the end is fine. So we'll have 1, 2, 3 standoffs. You're going to want to take your standoff, your easy install standoff, and set it right here along the bottom of the line. Go ahead and put a pilot hole and do it again. And one more. You take your easy install standoff, provided is a self-tapping 1/4 inch bolt. And again, you use your 3/8 inch socket, your easy standoff, set it right along the bottom of the line there. You've already pre-drilled and you know what your stud is. be able to move it slightly, make sure that they're level, and now we'll get our track. With the track, it says this side up, this side is beveled. You set it right into the cups of the easy on standoffs. As you can see, there's no holes needed, no drill sets in here. We've got Allen keys to be able to tighten these down. And what you can notice, I've got a space here of only 57 inches, and I've got a 66-inch track. The beauty of the standoff set up like this with no holes in it, we can actually just go cut the amount that we don't want and just adjust the size of the track on the premise. Okay. Now we've gone ahead and marked the track. The beauty of this system is that you can cut a track any length on premise to meet your door requirement or your track requirement. Safety first. Yeah, and then once the track is cut, you just kind of clean up your edges a little bit and touch it up with a little bit of rust-resistant satin finish black paint. Okay, once the track is cool to the touch, after you've cut it to size, we use just either a Krylon, a black satin finish, or a Rust-Oleum. You don't need a lot, just a little tiny bit to touch up for rust mitigation, and that's it. The carrier is also equally fast and easy to install. You will be provided with 4 through bolts with nuts, washers attached. Basically, the carrier, you're going to want to line it up straight. It could be anywhere from 1 inch to 3 inch. This one's going to be set actually exactly at 2 inches from the edge. If you notice, the wheel is on a 1 3/4 inch block. This makes sure that you ensure that you set it exactly perfect every time. It's really simple to do it. Set it on a block. You've got your 2 inches. Double check. You've got 2 inches here, 2 inches here. Go ahead and mark your holes and drill. Now that we've drilled the holes for the carriers, you go ahead and put the bolts through, washer on each side. Go ahead and take your drill, hold the back of it. Yes, and we're going to have some extra bolts sticking out of the backside here, so we're going to cut that off with a cutoff saw right now. Bolts sticking out, so the bolts are actually designed to support several different size doors. You can actually just take your cutoff saw and nip these off, as so. Now that we have the carriers on the door, we're going to go ahead and set the door onto the track. So, now we've got the doors on the track. As you can see, nice and level. It's not rolling either direction. Now what you want to do is set your end stops. Your end stops should line up so your door is completely here, and you also want your end stop set on this side so your door is in its completely open position. You slide the end stops over, you lock them with your little Allen wrench that comes with it. You tighten it up nice and tight, and then your end stop stays put. Also install your door bottom stabilizers so that the door doesn't pop out from the bottom. Here I've got my door bottom stabilizers set. As you can see, the door is exactly the right size so that it'll actually go right over the top of that. And now your door, once the stabilizer is in, it won't pull back or forth. Typically, you can, if your gap underneath is 3/4 of an inch, you can actually set the stabilizers right on top of each other, as I've done here, or you can stagger them, depending on the room you have. You just want to make sure that you've got the door in either full open or full closed position, the door stabilized. Lastly, you want to take your anti-jump block and 1 screw. Take your anti-jump block, this is important. Set this right here under your track on your door. You go ahead and screw this down. This prevents the door from jumping up if accidentally hit. and you're done. So in summary, the beauty of the easy install is that you've got these standoffs, no holes in the track. You can cut your track on premise. You set these here on studs. It's just very, very simple to set your standoffs, slide your end stops, lock it in together. This can be done in about 10 minutes, start to finish.